Hi, welcome to my live. I am a little bit late again. I feel like I've been consistently late the past few weeks, and I know last week I was on a Thursday, but I wanted to thank everyone who has subscribed thus far since I started my lives. I also, I know I haven't been putting out as much edited content like on shorts and all of that, but I'm really trying to get back into the swing of things. This week has just been felt like I don't know about you all, but it's just really felt a little bit hard for me. And I think I was physically exhausted for one. And then for another reason, just, there's a lot of things going on in the world. And I think after also just personally back to back events, I just really needed to rest. And I have definitely been doing that. So I'm just kind of giving myself some grace this week because I've been a little stressed, not stressed, but a little bit feeling a little bit of pressure on myself to just continue working because, as a business owner, we have to always be finding work. And so I'm always constantly on the lookout and also working on sales and marketing and all of that. So every day I'm not doing that, obviously I do feel a little bit of pressure, but giving myself a little bit of grace this week. And I hope everyone out there is too, and you're all doing well. For those of you who are watching for the first time, my name is Jane Yu. I am a wedding and event planner based in Los Angeles. I'm the co-owner of a company called UNS Events, which I run with my husband, John. I'm the planner, he's the DJ side of things. And I love supporting engaged couples plan and design their wedding from beginning to end. And I really try and keep their enjoyment to a maximum and their stress levels as low as possible. That's my intention when I work with them. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about inclusivity. And the reason that I wanted to discuss that is because, well, I wanted to just talk about what it means to me. It may not mean the same thing to everybody. Obviously, with everything that's going on in our country right now, sometimes it just feels like there isn't a lot of love to be spread. And I work in an industry where it's all about love and celebration and feeling good and good vibes. And, obviously there are times when you're just watching the news or, just all of the things that are going on around right now. And I was watching a live session by AOC, and she was just saying, you know what? It's about obviously making huge changes is difficult as an individual, but it's about how we are impacting our little corner of the world. And that really resonated with me because I feel like what I do as a wedding planner, it's obviously important because it's something that's happening every day. It's a milestone in people's lives. It's never going to go away. Like weddings are never going away. It's a tradition that's always here to stay. But I was always thinking it's such a fluffy job. Like it's not it's not something that's changing the world. But actually, I think now that I've sort of reflected on it and thought about it, and after what she said, I feel like I can make an impact in my little micro corner of the world, even in my industry, because yes, it's an industry that's about love and celebration, but that doesn't mean doesn't get difficult, especially for vendors or even couples or just, people relations in general, which I've talked a lot about on the channel. And I think I just really wanted to talk about that today in light of just dealing with people and just everything that's going on in the world. Um, because I think we underestimate the impact of what we say and what we do and the actions we take. And it's a lot easier said than done, especially in my own home, because when I'm tired, like obviously John, my husband, sees all facets of me. He sees the good, the bad, the ugly, the pretty, the weird, the everything. And, obviously that's what marriage is all about too. But, it's easier said than done because like today, I woke up and my bathroom was flooding, like the sink was overflowing. And it was literally like I was right when I was waking up, which obviously, I mean, not obviously, already I'm not a morning person. And I was like, WTF, why is this happening? And I do live in an older building that has issues from time to time like this. Like we have overflowing problems and leaking problems, and we've been here 3 years. We've maybe had 4 or 5 incidents that has happened. And I woke up today and I was really woke up on the wrong side of bed, and it was not a good start to the day. And it really threw off my day. I low key did not brush my teeth until like right before this live because I didn't exercise. I didn't do like all my things. And I was just trying to focus also on the next events that are coming up. And I just haven't felt completely recalibrated. So I'm really working on that right now. And today, even for the live, I was obviously late. And I don't know, I'm trying to get back on track. And I thought this was a good way to do it because just showing up today and about just going back to what I wanted to talk about is inclusivity. The reason I wanted to talk about it was because just about like making impact in my corner of the world, in my industry, with the people that I come in contact with. Just trying to show kindness as much as possible to each other, which is a lot easier said than done, of course, because there's going to be people that we come across that just aren't our vibe. And that's okay. We can draw those boundaries when we need to. But I wanted to talk specifically about inclusivity and what that means to me. And I think, John and I have also talked about it. And for us, we don't like restricting ourselves to certain types of couples or anything like that in terms of like uh, just like uh, how they sexually identify or their ethnicity or cultures or anything like that. For us, I think the more diverse, the better. It keeps things interesting. That's what makes America America. And I love working with different couples from different cultures because it's a lot of fun to kind of lean into those elements. And a lot of couples do come to us and wanting those cross-cultural elements. So we really enjoy working on those types of weddings, or at least I know I do, especially from like a design perspective and just figuring out the different details. And one story that I want to tell you about is when a same-sex couple, females, approached us a year or two ago about the wedding that we just did in May. The first question they asked was, "Are you comfortable with doing an LGBTQ wedding or same-sex wedding?" And I thought it was interesting that they asked that because for me, the answer is obviously yes. But I'm sure there are people out there who would say no. And as we started planning, after they hired me, as we started planning, we would talk about it sometimes. And even I myself just wasn't even aware that that was something that same sex couples had to really think about or really even consider when reaching out to vendors. When, as a couple, you want to find the vendor that's the best fit for you. And of course, if they feel like they have to ask, but a male female couple wouldn't have to ask that or wouldn't have to feel like they have to ask that. And so as we got into planning, I realized that was something that was important to them if the vendor had worked with same sex couples before. And I found myself understanding that I would have to let vendors know because who knows nowadays, or not nowadays, but who just knows what anyone's philosophies are or whatnot. But I wanted to share where we stand. And for us, inclusivity is very important in all senses of the word. And I hope that as couples do approach us, like we welcome all cultures. If you're a same sex couple, that works for us too. If you're a queer couple, all good with us too. And I just wanted to just say that out loud because I don't think people say it enough or it's celebrated enough. And I wanted to talk about it because of just everything that's going on in the world. It's easy to feel like there's so much hate. Ooh, my voice cracked. It's easy to feel like there's so much hate, and I don't ever want to operate with that foundation. And that's a good reminder to myself too, even at home. It's really easy to just be really like my mood take over when I'm at home, if it's just me or just me and John. But I realize that's also not fair to my spouse. So that's something that I'm glad I'm talking about to remind myself today, because I had a lot of those moments today, especially. Um, but yes, I hope this was enlightening to maybe couples or other vendors out there who don't necessarily think about it. Um, and I realized even when I put together my digital wedding planner product, I had a lot of areas where it said bride and groom. And I didn't do that to necessarily exclude same sex couples, but I was like, oh, I caught myself because obviously there's more than just more couples than just bride and groom. I don't know if that made sense. But obviously you can have a bride and a bride, and then a groom, transgender female with a female, whatever it is. And so I changed all my wording to partner one and partner two, which took a little bit of finagling because I feel like it can get a little bit confusing um, when I'm writing partner one, partner two all the time. So it just depends on what we're looking at. But for instance, like the family photo list, I definitely had bride and groom, and I changed all of that. And then even bridesmaids and groomsmen, it's not always all men for the groom's party, or the bride's party isn't always all women or all bridesmaids. So I started just calling them partner one's wedding party, partner two's wedding party. And then when I'm working with a couple and they are a bride and a groom, then I do change that language. And I do say wedding party or bridesmaids if it's all women, or groomsmen if it's all men. Uh, just because it is more conventional, and sometimes it is a little bit easier. But I found that in creating the digital planner, I did catch that. And it wasn't even something I was effectively or intentionally trying to exclude. And so imagine when I feel like a lot of people probably just don't even think about it, but I think that's where the intention comes in. And I want that to be our intention, that we are inclusive, that we love diverse couples, we love cross-cultural couples, multicultural couples, and we love celebrating all those cultures. So I wanted to say that out loud, manifesting more cross-cultural, multicultural couples. We did just book a client recently. The groom is from Britain or UK, and the bride is from LA. She's Asian or Chinese American, and so they wanted nods to both their cultures in a subtle way. And so we talked about that. So it can be as subtle as food elements, or as big of a statement as you want to make in like a large decor piece or something like that. But yes, I hope in your corner of the world today that you are thriving, and that you're not just surviving. And I hope that when I come to you next week, I will be a little bit more put together and on time. And I know I keep promising that I am planning out the content so you can see what's coming up at least for the next 4 weeks. And right now I am working hard on just the next kind of digital product and consultation that I'm going to be launching probably in the next 6 months, to be honest. But if you want to follow my journey, I would love it if you could subscribe to my channel. Please leave a comment with any questions or just any thoughts that you're thinking about as it relates to the wedding industry or love or celebrations in general. I do other events as well, but mostly weddings, trying to focus on weddings right now. And I hope that your week is going well and that you have a good weekend. And I hope to see you next week. And I hope to be in a just better mental place. And but I'm still glad that we were here and connected. And to be honest, like I'm just so grateful for all of the people who have tuned into my lives, um, and also subscribe to my channel and continue to watch my past lives. Like that's really, what's the word? Encouraging. And that's what really keeps me going, even though it's one view at a time, one subscriber at a time. And I'm still getting the hang of it, but trying not to give up. And if you are interested in just additional wedding help or have questions, please drop them in the comments. Or you can also email me at digital@uns.com. I also have a wedding planning guide that you can download for free down in the description. And you can also just subscribe to my newsletter. I'm trying to get that up and running more regularly, where I'll be notifying everyone just of my different live sessions and just anything else that I have coming up. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good night.